Kino pavasaris. Kovo 18, balandžio 5 dienomis visoje Lietuvoje. Didysis partneris Ergo draudimo grupė. Informaciniai partneriai TV3, 15 min žmonės.
Mūsų karta pirmoji supratusi, kaip iš lėto kenkiame gamtai. Ir vienintelė, žinanti, kad dar yra laiko ją išsaugoti. Apsaugokime mūsų visų ateitį. Ergo.
Geriausius kino pavasario filmus parodys žiūrimiausia televizija TV3. Šeštadieniais 22:40.
Festivalis Kino pavasaris jūsų namuose. Visus filmus žiūrėkite Telia televizijoje jums patogiu metu. Telia. Įdomiau tik gyvenimas.
The laws of physics. The laws of life. Laws connect everything. We think that to be legal advisors, we must live under the same philosophy. Adapting to connect and connecting to adapt.
Labas vakaras, Kino pavasario ir 15 min žiūrovai. Šį vakar kalbėsime su filmo VEIDRODėlį režisierė Laila Pakalnina iš Latvijos ir taip pat filmo prodiuserė Dagnė Vildžiūnaitė ir aktorium Mykolu Vildžiūnu. Ir norėčiau priminti, kad šį filmą galite pamatyti tik tai šiandien ir rytoj. Ir taip pat, kas jau matėte filmą ar šiaip susidomėjot, kviečiu užduoti komentaruose klausimus. Hello, Laila, Dagna, and Mykolas. It's really nice to have you all three here this evening. And I wanted to start from, Dagna, is that your dog? No,
I guess
not
it's
yours.
Lila's, no?
It's my dog.
Nice. It happened to me many times when I was doing conversations at home. Laila, but I want to start from you, asking about your film In the Mirror. What came to you first, the idea of selfies or the interpretation of the fairy tale Snow White?
In fact, first were selfies. Because my daughter was sending me sometimes messages like with those selfie videos, and I started to think that it is something interesting to explore, but in not on mobile phone, but in film. But I had no idea what to do, and it was like somewhere with me, and then I suddenly understood that yes, it is going to be Snow White, because it's stepmother. She was talking to mirror, and so it's like in fact it was selfie. It's like we right now talking to ourselves. And then that's how, but my answer, yes, first were selfie idea and then interpretation of fairy tale.
And why was it important for you? I'm just curious where this idea came from to interpret the Snow White in that kind of location, for example, starting the film in CrossFit gym, and why this element was important for you?
I don't know. It just everything came in one go. Like as soon as it was a fairy tale, as soon as it was Snow White, then already I understood that she will grow up in a CrossFit hall, and her father will be CrossFit trainer, because there is no. I had this feeling that this all those queens and kings and princesses, okay, they are for history, but not anymore for modern times. And yeah, and also because talking to yourself, talking to others, watching to yourself, it somehow came together with this, how to say, self-love of people, and you so much care about how you look like, about your body. So yeah, it's somehow naturally came with that it is going to happen in CrossFit Hall.
Dagna, I would like to ask you as well, when did you got on board for this project from the Lithuanian side? And maybe you could share your thoughts, what got you interested in the story and maybe in the form as well.
So I think I heard about the project already in the process, and at that moment we were finishing another film with Lila together, Spoon documentary. And while making that film, Lila already told about this story, and I was really curious because I know it from the beginning. It had to be co-production with Czech Republic, and I remember Lila was going to Czech Republic to the mountains to look for the place, for 7 dwarfs. And then it didn't work out, and I think we made this decision quite quickly. Lila asked if I would be interested, and so first of all, of course, I was really convinced by this concept of the stepmother looking at the mirror the same as we do, looking at phones and talking and sharing our images all the time. But at the same time, to work with Lila is it's a very safe plan, because first of all, at least for me, she's the master. She's in your master's program, and I think she's a master and knows what she's doing. But at the same time, it's never the same. Every movie is different, and I am always looking for new things, not to get bored, and trying to find new stories, new forms of talking in the projects that I produce. So for me, it was really a perfect match.
Great, congratulations for the perfect match. And Mykolas, maybe you could say a bit about your role, because your character is the prince, who is an art curator, and maybe you could share your thoughts how you interpreted this role, and maybe what was interesting for you in this character.
It was really interesting for me because it was the big step for me to make a role in Latvian. Let's say that was the most interesting part and the most difficult part. I've read the script and I really liked it very much because of the things the director and the producer told already about all this selfie mania and narcissism all around. And I thought, I just felt that it's really going to be a movie. Of course, it's a great director behind the camera, but at the same time, that fairy tale, I liked it very much. Of course, it was interesting part to get the role of the prince. Maybe when you're studying acting, still it is a kind of big deal. I don't know, I can't remember what actually, how I built the character on the set, because I just came very frustrated, weeks preparing the Latvian parts. It was kind of surprise for me, because I read the script and then I asked Dagna So in what language I will speak? Maybe I will be the prince, and I will talk in English. She said, no, it will be the Latvian parts. I said, do you see that in all script, almost nobody talks, but the prince who talks, he doesn't know the language. Why it is so? And when I came to Latvia for the shooting, as I said, very frustrated, and we sit with Laila to discuss the night before the first shooting. We tried that parts of the text, and after that I said, Laila, but I'm really frustrating, and I'm really don't think that it will be okay, because I know that the films I know, the directing, it's you have to dub me for sure. And she said one thing which really helped me. She said that the prince, he don't need to be perfect in Latvian. The prince is the character, and he is a bit different than all other characters in the film. And if it will be something different with the language or with other things, it will be good for this role. And then I felt that the relief. Okay. The director just have the concept that the prince is somehow different. And then I came to this on the set without the frustration, and make other step to act differently, because every time when you act, you look not to the camera but somewhere around, to the partner, to the just side of the camera. And this time it was very different, because all the time you're looking straight to the camera, and not just looking, but you're holding that camera. And all the process was very interesting. All the crew was very calm, just like the director. Probably it's somehow connected, because I've never seen so calm director on the set. It was the first time I saw that someone on the set, who is the general of all the process, is so calm, and all the crew behind them is calm as well too.
It seems that you really had a good atmosphere on the sets, and because Mykolas already mentioned about the mise en scène, how you organized that. Maybe Laila, you could comment a bit more about how you were structuring the mise en scène. How did you work with other actors as well, and with this whole selfie technique with the cameras, not with the phones?
Yeah, at first we made a lot of tests before shooting, and we got this idea where actor should look, and it must be straight to lens, straight to camera, and also it was very maybe sometimes difficult that actor needed to hold the camera, but so it means that actor was attached to camera, and on the other side of camera there was cinematographer Gints Berziņš. And it was almost always like this, and yeah, what else? And of course, we were shooting not vertical selfies like on mobile phone. We were shooting horizontal anamorphic format to have mise en scène in frame. And all this was not easy, but it was very interesting. It was something what we said to ourselves when we started to work, that we will enjoy this process and we tried to enjoy every day, every shot, and yeah, and what else? Yeah, and in fact, I'm so sad that we can't watch it on big screen. I was happy at least to have a world premiere in Estonia in Black Night Film Festival, because on big screen it looks really crazy. All those movements, each shot, they just make you dizzy. You can't feel this on your laptop. But I really hope that we will meet and we will see it on big normal screen. And also, of course, it was very easy to work with Mikolas, because maybe you remember that maybe you didn't realize, but you was only professional actor during those days on set, because for other roles it was very they were casted paying attention what those guys can physically do, not so much how good they can act. And of course, yeah, and then when you arrived, it was like such a relief that finally you work with actor. But at the same time, guys did also, like those 7 gnomes, they did fantastic job, fantastic. And one of those gnomes, he now is really like a big guy. He's already was really big guy, but he's doing really good in world championships for strongman. He is now number 3 in world. It's yeah.
And Dagna, maybe you can say a bit more about the other Lithuanian filmmakers who were participating, because the editor was Ieva Veiverytė. Yeah, the music was Lithuanian composers as well, Paulius Kilbauskas and Vygintas Kisevičius. So maybe you could say a bit how did they come on board, and why you have invited them.
Oh, it's now difficult for Ieva. For Ieva, maybe because we already did another film with Laila, and we were editing Spoon with Silvija Vilkaitė. But then she was having a break and raising her baby, and we had to look for someone. And I don't know, I guess, when you already know the person, when you know the director, then first thing what I'm always trying to look for is someone, who could fit as a character. Of course, you are choosing from professionals, but and I had this feeling that Ieva could be someone. And then, she had one important thing too, because her boyfriend, he's Latvian, so she understands Latvian. So it was really a big. Also, there is not much talking in the film, but still, I remember we were watching maybe first cut at Ieva's place, and they were laughing with Laila so much. It was without subtitles, and I was the only one who didn't understand. It was very funny. And Paulius and Vygis, because it was I think it is a very special film, and we didn't talk a lot about the music concept, but I knew that Paulius and Vygis, they are really fast in finding, fast in working and finding new ideas and experimenting on just here, and I thought that they could be a good, you know, also good match with Lila. And I remember it really it worked quite well from the very beginning. I think it was not a long process of searching, if I remember it right now.
Yeah, because
So,
we
yeah.
needed we asked them to write something already before to compose already before shooting, because we needed to have music for wedding for this last scene already before shooting. And when we got in like after 3 versions something what we really liked, then it was like clear that we got our composers, and I can't imagine someone else composing music, because you don't know, but Dagna, you don't know, or I told you, I'm very sensitive towards music. I never have music in my films. Yeah, sometimes I have, but I better avoid music. But sometimes I have. But I think it's like 3rd time I'm having original music in my films.
I have a question to all of you, because Mykolas touched it already a bit about this, how that it was interesting for him and it's important in the script and in the film, this this whole thinking about the selfie money and all this obsession about ourselves. And I need to tell you that in this year program in Vilnius Film Festival, it's not only one film touching that narcissism and an obsession about ourselves. So it's kind of interesting line throughout a couple of films. But what I wanted to ask to each of you, maybe your own opinion or your own thoughts about this almost a peak of narcissism in our times. I don't know, Mykolas, maybe you want to start.
I don't know really how to start the conversation about this topic. It's horrible. It is just horrible what is happening with the humans looking at themselves and looking at just looking, but the thing is what they are thinking while they are looking, and like in this fairy tale, when the stepmother looks to the mirror and asks only one question: who is the most beautiful in the whole world? So we knew that fairy tale from the childhood and lots of generations, and somehow this question came to, let's say, everyone's head. And I think it is sick, and I think that films like Lila made, I have to say I haven't seen the film yet because it's the premiere. I used to come to premieres to watch the film, and I will be very glad to wait till we open the screens and watch it on the screen. But I think that films such Lila made, which are talking about this question and trying to show the reflection of the person who's trying to see himself all the time as the best one and the only one, and while he's looking only at himself, he doesn't look around, and that's the problem. When we are in the cinema hall, we are looking only at the screen, and this film, I really hope somehow will make a little impact to look at the self as differently.
Dagna?
Yeah, it's a difficult question. I think, I had this experience like 1 year and more before, 1 year and a half before, when I understood that in general, my experience on social media, it really made me feel bad, feel sick. And I think it is a lot about, exposing yourself all the time, and maybe at some point already being afraid that you don't do it enough, or that you are doing in a wrong way, or that someone is doing this better. And I guess like social media, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram especially, I guess, is like, one big mirror where we all look at each other and ourselves. And at some point you lose yourself, I think. I mean, you as the stepmother, she's not herself, she's the reflection of her in the mirror. And that was the moment when I made a 1 year break from Facebook. And I think for me it was almost like a therapy. And now I'm back for more, I would say, for more kind of business reasons, for promotion. And but I think it would be really helpful for everyone to make a break and think about it and reflect and stay for some time just with yourself, not showing yourself to everyone.
Thank you. And Laila?
Yeah, it's very like big and complicated question. It's like our previous film Spoon about plastic, about where this world is going. And I think in both cases, we just can't change this world, and we can't change those states, the state of things, because it is like this. And in general, in my film, I'm not criticizing. I'm because if it is critic, then it is self-critic as well, because I'm not so narcissistic, but in a way I am also involved in all those social media. I also use Facebook, but all what Agnes said and Mikulas was said, we can start only with ourselves. And it's the same about plastic. It just start with yourself. You can't start with your neighbor. You just can start with yourself. And another thing is, by the way, I started to use Facebook very late, and I started to use Facebook only because of this film. When I started to write script, I wanted to explore what it is, how this works, and I also started to take selfies for just to understand this technique. And but one thing what I wanted to say, you also can make fun out of this. Just if you turn it to joke, then it works much more better. If you just don't so much love yourself, but when you are able to laugh at first on yourself, then it is. I think it's much more healthier.
Yeah, but usually probably you can start laughing when you really love yourself, not your reflection, but you have easiness within you and not, craving for admiration or some likes or whatever we have. But I have a question from the audience, and the question is for Laila. It seems that you have an exceptional relation to Lithuania. Where does it come from?
We are neighbors. We are neighbors. Yeah, I am still, how to say, sorry, I don't speak Lithuanian, but it's really not easy. Miklos was such a hero for learning those lines, because when we read it, it just looks like maybe we can understand something, but it's really, really not easy at all.
And for an end of conversation, I have actually another question from the audience to all of you. And the question is, what keeps you inspired during this self-isolation time? What future projects are you working at the moment? Dagna, maybe you would like to start.
Oh, what keeps me? I am really tired of isolation. So I don't know what keeps me anymore. The spring that is coming, and then of course my work. My work, because I am always involved in some, in some creative process, and I'm working on different projects. So I just don't have time to think too much about the conditions that we are having. And what I'm doing, quite a lot. I'm now in post-production of 3 feature films, 2 documentaries, and 1 3D fairy tale, by the way. I'm also, maybe it's, I'm working on 1 TV series, on 1 animation project. So I have many projects in my pocket that different stages. But next year will be rich again, because it was just many films at the same time being in the process. So for sure I hope I will come back to the next Kino Pavasaris with new titles.
I hope so too. Mykolas, what about you?
I won't say nothing new about isolation. There is no clue, the good or bad one. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, the springs helps. Yes, I have some projects I'm working on. I found at last time for a few scripts. I worked with them a bit, and I'm happy about it, because it's really hard to find the reason why not to when you have time for it. So I just I read more at this time. Of course, these 2 weeks was much more easier because of the Kino Pavasaris and the Pavasaris as well, the spring. And what can I say? I won't bring any title for the next festival. Probably not yet, and probably won't participate in some title of the film like this year. So I'm really want to say thank you for the Laila, for the Dagna, for this opportunity, for Kino Pavasaris that I'm here, and for the all audience of Kino Pavasaris. I just want to say keep going. See you next year, and everything will be somehow different.
Thank you, Mykolas. Laila.
In a way, I also can say that I sometimes have this feeling, oh, I'm tired, but tired from not being able to travel. In fact, I think it's for me, it's maybe the for not being able to travel and not being able to meet people. Like, if not this pandemic, I would be in Vilnius now. And this like makes me crazy. It's enough. It's already 1 year. And otherwise, yes, film industry is working. I'm working on yeah, festivals are online. I would say I would prefer, there are some good things as well with those online festivals, but I would prefer then better hybrid festivals, of course, because those who can watch on big screen. But there is one good thing. For example, when it was festival in Riga, I just realized that, okay, and it was hybrid one. And then I realized, okay, but like it is opportunity for people who don't live in Riga to watch the same films that we are watching on big screen. Yeah, I miss this big screen. And concerning festivals, I'm okay with those Q&As and like those conversations like we are doing right now. If I can't come, it's fine. But I psychologically already can't record those self introductions for films. It's when it was like first 4 or 5 festivals, it's fine. But then when you not stay in front of audience, you just make your selfie. Then no, it's too much. I need audience. But otherwise, okay. It's like challenging time. I also read when it is not my duty to watch films. I'm sometimes in April. I'm in 2 festivals in jury. I will watch films. I like watch films, but I also try to rather read than to watch films because we too much time spent with our computers. Then I prefer reading more.
So
and yeah, hope to meet you all soon. And thank you, Lithuania, because without Dagne, without Lithuanian co-production, we would not make this film. And also I very much like that it is kind of this natural, real co-production, because we made it with people whom we really needed. Those Lithuanian, let's call them co-authors of film, they were really needed for this film. It was not only because of Lithuanian money, it was real creative input.
Thank you, Laila, for the yes, and thank you to all. And for an end, I felt that it was really weird. We really wanted to have a hybrid festival, but it didn't work, of course. The cinemas are closed. But anyway, I felt that throughout these almost 3 weeks of the festival, what kept me going is really the meetings with filmmakers. And it was really big pleasure and very interesting conversations. And with you as well. So thank you so much. And good luck.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Labvakar!
Spoguliet, spoguliet.
Tu esi vislabākā. Gaudo.
Aita, isuudes sadolitoi.
Tieši laikā.
Skrien! Neizskaties atpakaļ, skrien!
Pirms 6 mēnešiem viņa pazuda.
Redzi, es guļu.